Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Shelini and I'm from International Class Program on Science Education, Makassar State University. Today I want to talking about the naked science video titled "The Living Body: Our Extraordinary Life." So our body as a human have a very incredible journey since our birth, infancy, childhood, puberty, and slow maturity to the old age. So the first stage we have birth. So there is no one know how is it feel to be born, because it is very impossible to know. But some scientists do know that when we are born, our body search a very big adrenaline, and even it is more intense than heart attacks. It is adrenaline is to help us lift the womb and to exercise our lung to breathe at the first time. Before we are born, our lungs is filled with amniotic fluids. So when we are born, we firstly inhale the first air. The adrenal glands in the top of the kidneys flood the blood with the adrenal. Before we are born, the heart is pumping the blood through the system of blood vessels to the placenta. After we are born and lung is functioning, the heart is pumping blood through 1,000 miles of blood vessels, and our other organ is coming active. Liver perform 500 jobs, from generating heat and to processing toxins. Kidney is functioning to maintain the balance of the water in the body, and digestive organs prepare to receive their first mother's milk. Infancy is a stage of a rapid growth both inside and outside. Our body as a human consists of billions types of function and of cell. Cells is makes up the organ, and organ makes up our body. Inside a cell, the cell is contained DNA. DNA is not just conclude how we are look, how we are shaped, how we are characteristic, but also is set a timelines of our life, when we are growth, when we are develop, when we are puberty, when we are grow adults, and even when we are die. Our body is have to adapt to in the first months of life. Inside the womb, the temperature is 38 degrees, while in our home the room temperature is 18 degrees. There is a region in the brain called hypothalamus that have a responsibility to maintain the heat in our body. It is makes our body produce and burn some fat, so we are able to getting hurt. Breast milk, or our mother's milk, is the first drink and meals received by an infant, but it is doing very amazing jobs for baby. It is develop immune system. It is fulfill the nutrients that the baby needed. It is also develop immune system on a baby, fighting bacteria, and makes the bonds between the mothers and child. Months of life, we start to hear and smell. The nerve inside the nose detect the smell in the air that we inhale, and the nerve inside the nose is the take, and and change it into electrical signal. The electrical signals is sent by a nerve and bring it to the brain. Brain will interpret the data, and we will recognize what smell it is. And baby will soon can recognize her mother by her baby can recognize her mother by smell. Inside the air, the sound wave make the eardrum vibrate, and vibrates the oscillate bone too. For the eyesight is a very different story. In our first months, we our eyesight is underdeveloped, so we see nothing. Our eyes just see blur and without colors. In the first 3 months, we grow by 1/4 our original body weight per month, and after that, our growth is being at 8 months. All of our sense is working properly. The sense that we use the most is touch. The receptors in our fingerprints send a signal to sensory nerve, and then sensory nerve will bring it to the brain with a speed of 320 kilometers per hour. This speed is sometimes faster when we get the when we react to painful sensations such as heat. This The nerve is take a shortcut to the spinal cord. Digestion is start in the mouth. At the 8th month, our teeth is start coming out, and the teeth is functional to grind up the food, and then the saliva will help to break down the food and lubricate the food to help bring food to the reach the next organ. So in 12 hours later, the food will reach the stomach, small intestines, and large intestine. And in intestine, our food will our nutrients and food will absorb, and after that will by the age of 1, we begin to explore the world by crawling because our bone is got stronger. When we are born, our bone is consists of cartilage. It is seems like a bone in our ear, so it's very weak. So when our age is aided and we are grow older, the cartilage will be hardened and become a bone. The ability of walking is such a different things. The main point of walking is not in a strong bone but in a balance. When we enter in childhood, this is the best time to learn. In this stage, we learn to talking and learning language. By the first 2 years, we learn 10 new words per day. Childhood is the best time to learn, but inside class or outside the class, by experience with natures and socialize with so many friends. Childhood, we have so many interaction with so many people, with both our friends and our environment. This is the very risky times for us to get infection on bacteria and viruses and many more. But fortunately, our body have a immune systems or mechanism that protects us from the bacteria, such as a sweat that wash up the bacteria in our skins, and shade it up, and the eyebrow, eyelashes, and hair in our ear and our nose. It helps us to filters what can enter our body. So it's very small. It is very small change to bacteria inside to enter our body. But when sometimes pathogen enter our body, such as chickenpox, so the viruses go will go through the bloodstreams, and the viruses will enter the will eject the cells and becoming more and more rapidly increasing and spreading in our body. And in that times our immune systems activated, and our body become fever, or our temperatures is become increases. It is signs of our body fighting the viruses, because when our body hot, that is not good to virus to be uh, to become much more. And also in our blood there is white blood uh, that protects us from viruses by eat the further enzyme viruses. It is kill the cells but also kills the viruses inside the cells, and soon we will get recovery. And after childhood stage we entering the next stage. It is puberty. So puberty in everyone and every human is different based on DNA clocks. We have said before that DNA is set the timelines to our development, our growth, and our puberty. So puberty is difference depends on their DNA. So puberty is caused by hormones and is triggered by a region in the brain called hypothalamus, the same region that causes heat and regulating heat in our body. So the hypothalamus triggered pectin, and pectins triggered hormones. Hormones will make our body change. It is the hormones will stimulate the reproductive organ to start work. In the girl, the ovarium start to produce an egg, and in the boy, it stimulate testicle to produce sperm. After the puberty, we enter the 20s stage. So in 20s stage, our body is become more good, but we not become more taller. We stop going taller, but we keep change. So and because we keep change, because the cell inside our body is always renew their self, and actually we are the new person every 2 years. There is some activities that very good in our to our bodies, such as exercise. Exercise is good for our heart, our muscles, and also our lungs. But there is also bad activities that impact bad to our bodies, such as parties. In parties, there are so many badness, such as loud music that damage the small stereocilia inside our ear, and smoking that not good for our lungs, and then alcohol that very bad to our body, because alcohol is will go to the bloodstreams and very and very have a big impact to our brain process. It is block the synapses, so we cannot think logically. It is also cause dehydrations and make our liver work harder. In 30s we start to we start to a new stage of life. We start thinking to find lovers and have a kids. So let's talk about lovers and someone's we love. Fall in love is not just about emotion. It is actually a biological and chemistry activities in the body too. So in that age, we start to thinking about having kids. So our body start to looking for someone the best who can marry with. So after marry, we have a kids by fertilization. In fertilization, there are 300 million sperm that uh, swimming to reach the egg, but in the end, there is just one sperm that succeeds to fertilizing the egg. So after fertilizing the egg, 40 weeks later, the single cell will develop into the fully formed baby that living inside the womb. So in pregnancy, baby is a real as an effective parasite for the mother because it is absorbs so many energy for the mother, and it takes a lot of nutrients from the mothers through the placenta. The more get bigger the baby will push the organ of the mother such as heart, lung, and kidneys, so the organ that affected will be work harder than before. So after 9 months in the wombs of the mother, the body of the mother will prepare to born the babies, such as there is a change in muscle. Raising baby and have a family is not just physically tired, but also emotionally. Our body we will not be the same anymore. Just like when we are 20s, there are so many different. When we're entering 40, there is so many changes in our appearance. Maybe one of the most things that we are able to see is a skin that get wrinkled. So the skin get wrinkled. There is so many aspects. The first is the sun. The ultraviolet radiation will make the collagen inside the skins reduce, and it will lose, and it will make the skin's elasticity become reduce and lose, so it become wrinkled. Our metabolism in 40 years is also different with us before. Our metabolism become reduced, and we are not able to burn as much as calories. Our eyesight is affected too, because it is very hard to find someone that didn't have to wear glasses in their 40 years. It's because the lens of the eye will reduce their focus. When we entering the age of 50, maybe our metabolism get more reduced, but we have developed families, kids, and maybe as kids and grows and anything. But it's very risky for us to get stressed, and stress is not just emotionally but also can get the bad influence to our body. The more stress the more stress that we get, the more it destroy the blood vessels. Women in 52 will get the menopause stage. So menopause is a stage when the ovarium stop it to produce egg. So the reproductions of women will stop. At the age of 70, our body become more slowing down. all of our sense become more reduced. Seems like hair in hair the hair in our ear, it will become not functioning anymore, and our A sides our A lens will become stiffer, and the most risky is our skeleton is become more easy to get osteoporosis. And the final stage is that is a very amazing process of the biology. The final pumps of the heart will release endorphins, and the tissue can't function anymore, and the last sense that active is here. It is still active a few hours after our heart being stopped. And the most amazing is our brain still activate 37 hours after the last heartbeat. Though everything will be slowing down, our cell will be stopped. Our cell will stop dividing, and finally, our last impulses in the brain is happen in 37 hours after the death. So it is a very amazing process of our life. I hope that you can get the points, and I'm ask your apologies if I made mistakes. Thank you for your attention, and assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.